Welcome back. You here with Goldberg. So this is going to be a bit of a throwaway video as I'm pressed for time. Like Flaubert, I've embarked upon a project which is slowly driving me mad, so I must soldier on to whatever destiny awaits. You might describe it as every single Goldberg day is so dense. There's so many things going on. What can you do? I didn't watch this particular video that's on screen, just didn't feel much inclination. Well, in the comments, you see many boomers gaslighting, and I'll just speak for myself. Why are so many young men afraid to talk to women? I'm not afraid, actually. I'll approach a Stacy if I think there's IOI. It's not super common, but once in a while. I do like, however, to pay attention to social cues and context. The reason why people that are on the spectrum love PUA courses is because they believe this one schematic, this set of instructions, this strategy, you can apply regardless, no matter what she's doing, how she's behaving, her body language. That's why they end up cringe maxing. I, in contrast, am fairly relaxed with it, just kind of have a normal conversation. I'm not at the level of approaching women point of view style in the mall going, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Oh, you're so gorgeous." That's Rizzler tier. Maybe I have to level up my methods a bit. But in any case, over the summer, I haven't been using dating apps much. Just got tired of women misrepresenting their appearance, in particular their skin tone. Nonetheless, in my travails, my errands, my routine, I've come across a couple of chicks that I've just made small talk with. The first one works at a library and kind of looks like a young Mary Steenburgen, albeit with glasses, so not too bad. The last time I went, she wasn't there. They'd replaced her with a budget Pooja. And this Pooja was, she was in shape. She was okay in the face, wearing a nice, brightly colored outfit, which I got to give credit to South Asian women. They seem to be a little bit more in sync with at least trying to present feminine. You know, you take East Asians, the vast majority of them, they dress like some dork randomly perusing a secondhand store, just pulling stuff off the shelves. Caucasians, Hispanics, blacks, it depends on the environment they're in if they feel there's competition from other women. Otherwise, they tend to be lazy. But I didn't talk too much with that particular girl, just moved on to the grocery store. And here I've been talking to this freakishly tall blonde on a few occasions. I say a few occasions because the way retail schedules work, you'll see them one week, you come back same time, same day, you won't see them for two or three. So you almost have to come in randomly if you want to have a chance to interact. But as I'm walking to this store, this car pulls up, and I don't know if the driver was African herself or she was a sista that was handling these gentlemen, but there were four evidently sub Saharan individuals, bald, five head, mustache, and looks of utter confusion on their faces. One of them, about 6'5" or 6'6", he's standing in the middle of the cereal aisle just staring at me like he doesn't know where he is. And I'm like, dude, you've never seen a box of cornflakes or a white passing brother? I don't know what to tell you. But I realized that Blondie is there. She's on the fast lane. I was like, okay, cool. Bear in mind, there's at least two or three other check lanes wide open. They're twiddling their thumbs. So it's not a question of it's so busy and everyone's just trying to get in and out quickly. So I go up, I say, hey, did you change your hair? She's like, no, it's just parted. And we have a pretty good back and forth going on. I see one of the sub-Saharans start coming up behind me, and he just keeps approaching to where he's maybe a foot or at best a foot and a half away. Another step, and he's going to be humping. And I turned, I was like, are you okay? He's like, and he backs off a little bit. But then he has this loaf of Wonder Bread, and he's holding it aloft, swinging it in a circle over the top of his head. Never seen this before. I was like, what kind of maneuver? Is it like a mating dance? And he starts going, I do not have the great God. I do not have the great God. Got big gas. Got big gas. And you just see the warmth and the happiness drain from her visage. And she's like, yeah, you can pay with cash. So here I was sabotaged. All right. Now you go, oh, he's third world or he doesn't understand. Well, there were other lanes, so he could have gotten service much faster. He had to come and disrupt my conversation. And forget about them being from another country. I've seen this so many times. You try to talk to a female where she's working, even if there's plenty of other people that could assist, they will always insist on entering your conversation or trying to shut it down. All sorts of individuals will do this. And it's not the first time. So earlier this year, I had to go to this corporate building for training, a prominent IT company. And in the class, it's mainly Gen Xers, some millennial males. There was one female, as I recall, this decent looking Pooja. I want to say Sikh because she had that shiny golden skin. And a lot of South Asian girls, they suffer from that. The skin's bad, but this one was a cut above. Plus, she had no beak. It was a more manageable nose, so that's ideal. But as we're in between sessions, I noticed this girl has a ton of rings on her fingers. And I said, so is that a collection? You swap them out every day? She's like, well, yeah, but these are my favorite. And we start conversing, and all of a sudden, two or three bald cells just begin interjecting and commenting on what we're discussing. I was like, isn't that convenient? Some of you were sitting next to her the whole time, didn't say a word, but now you see fit. Oh, he did it. The coast is clear. Commence attack on the main Floyd reactor. I told you Goldberg would do it. But I'm sure if I had said nothing, their attitude would have been, all cocks pull up. It's like they cannot envision doing anything by themselves, so they just have to kind of mooch off of you in this weird parasitical way. I don't know. You can say I'm paranoid, but I've noticed this so many times. I've even seen it happen to other people. And my general inclination, if I see a dude, especially if I know him and I know he's talking to a girl, I'm not going to go there and try to be annoying, especially if he's shorter than me. I'm not going to sit next to him and make him look diminutive or stand. I'm just going to make myself scarce. That's the polite thing to do. But a lot of these people, they just don't get that concept, I guess because they're desperate or they think, oh, it's totally platonic, so it doesn't matter. Story of their life, maybe. I don't know what to tell you. That makes me think about 2 years ago, I was working around a lot more females, and naturally you would converse with them, but some they'd be busy on a particular day, you wouldn't see them. So you have a rare opportunity for a good back and forth. And you start going into, you say, oh, wow, this is flowing, maybe another 60 seconds, 120, and you have an opportunity to go, would you like to hang out sometime? Well, like clockwork, as you're doing this, it would be da-dun, dun, da-dun, dun, some boomer. Well, hey there, sonny boy, I've got a question for you. Now, the previous 2 or 3 hours of the day, I didn't exist. I wasn't relevant. Or if I was talking to another guy, I'm not relevant, right? Just in the workplace. If I'm talking to a land whale, I'm not relevant. You can't send an email or maybe do a 180, go screw around in the bathroom for a little bit because you see I'm talking to a reasonably attractive woman. No, you have to come and interrupt me then and there. For what reason, I know not. Another example was this dude. I don't know if he was millennial or Gen X. He was in his early 40s at the time, but very immature person. And there was this one particular hijabi. In fairness, she was probably beyond my reach in that context because she was very good looking, like pretty face, Kim Kardashian figure, but super toned and tight. But if she was out of my league, she was out of this guy's planetary dimension, universe, bizarro world, take your pick. But if he saw me talking to her, he would literally come up, break into the conversation, and then physically get between us. And the girl will be looking at him like, WTF, what are you doing? Well, I'm just trying to talk to you better. I'm like, this is the pettiness of human beings, seriously. If there's even a sliver of a chance you can attain something, they have to prevent you. That just makes them happy or whatever, or equally miserable maybe. Or alternatively, it would be a masculine chick, a group of masculine chicks that I guess were jealous of the attentions. They'd come up with a big smirk on their face and just start pestering you with random questions so you can no longer talk to the other girl. It would be a Karen, mother henning the situation. And you're like, why? Like, what do you gain out of this? Satisfaction? The sad part about it is some of these folks, the older ones, I knew them. I was on good terms. I would say hi to them. I would have conversations. And so you might stop and consider, wait, wouldn't it be nice if those two potentially worked out and they spawned some bastard offspring who can pay our pensions? But no, they will literally try to undermine you at every point. It's like that old quote that goes, people will steal the joy you might one day have. I can't explain it. Now, of course, someone's going to come on here and say, no, they were MGTOW aware. They were trying to save you from a relationship. Maybe you're right. Okay, I just don't understand this notion. And maybe you claim, well, it's a jealousy thing. It's the calc blocking, but in some cases, it just seems sheer pettiness. It's not a question of they think they have an opportunity unless they're totally delusional. I mean, if you were younger, you know how it is. If you never matured, you don't know. Okay, but they have to cut you off at the knees. I don't know what's the motivating factor. But like I said, I think I would have been able to advance a lot faster in a lot of instances if this was not a phenomenon that constantly plays itself out. It's like people are threatened by even the smallest modicum of success you might have, particularly when it comes to the opposite sex. And that's something that I just, yeah, I'll probably die not knowing the answer. But